Welcome everybody, Joe, Passion Unchained here. I think this is episode 413, if I have counted right, and that means there are only 4 more episodes after this for the every episode a day challenge I've given myself. After that, I have come up with my amount of content I will be doing, which is 1 video a week, 1 article, and 1 email, and I will post all of that everywhere. I'll post the YouTube on the blog, and I'll post the YouTube on the email, and I'll post the email here, and I'll post the blog here, and it'll all be in the description below of videos starting in January 1st. Some weeks I might be inspired to do more, but the minimum I will do 1 video a week, 1 blog article, and 1 email. And I'm very excited about this. It'll help me focus on my other things a lot more and still keep the content going. So looking forward to that. I told you I'd update you, and I did. The purpose of today's video is something that a lot of guys come across and that holds a lot of guys back from building a love life that they love, because that is what I'm about. I'm about helping guys build a life they love, and I'm focusing right now on the love column of your life, because it's what I have the most experience in, building an awesome sex and dating life. So with this, I have an experience yesterday that I'm going to talk to you about, and I actually had to ask my mentor for advice because even I did not know how to follow my own advice, and he had a great suggestion, which I will include in here. Yesterday, well, let me rewind a little bit. I went on a trip with some friends. It was awesome, and there was this girl there I was very much attracted to. Have been for a while, but she's kind of been on the peripheral of my I never really thought of her as an option just because I usually don't date within social circles because of the propensity for potential drama. But after hanging out with her on this trip where a lot of our friends got together, I was like, you know what, she's really cute. I kind of want to make something happen. And she suggested that me, her, and a friend of hers go trampoline, like jumping on trampolines. So we ended up doing that yesterday. It was really fun, and I felt myself like butterflies in my stomach. There are very few girls who make me feel that way. And the other friend was actually one of her exes. So I didn't want to ask her out in front of her ex. Didn't know how he'd react. He seems like a cool guy. He probably wouldn't have much of an issue with it, but I also just didn't want to take the risk. I thought, maybe he'll try to cock block me or something. I don't know. Who knows? I don't think he would, but who knows? I don't know him well enough to really know how he'd react. So I texted her when I got home. I was like, hey, didn't really want to ask you out in front of him, but I'd love to go out with you. Grab a drink, see where it goes. Nothing crazy serious. Long story short, didn't work out. Wasn't a mutual thing, and she didn't want the same thing. And I was like, okay, no problem. But I do want to let you know that I've tried to be friends with people, with girls I'm attracted to in the past, and it blew up in my face every single time because I just end up being resentful, and then I'm pretending to be a friend when I really want more, and it's not going in that direction, so I just get frustrated. I'll leave the door open. If you change your mind, hit me up, we'll grab that drink, and if not, I'm sure I'll see you around at some social events. And that's where I left it. And I'm happy with it because now there is closure, and there is clarity, and it's great on all ends because we are in the equilibrium between what we both want, which is I want to only hang out with her if it's going towards something because I don't want to build resentment or frustration in myself, and she wants to hang out as friends, and so there really isn't any overlap between what we both want, and so that's totally fine with me, 100% fine with that. I don't want to live a lie and try to force a friendship where there is none. So the thing that happened though afterwards today, I felt guilty, right? I actually had scripted out this video. I was like, I want to tell you about this and how you don't need to, like, girls are not entitled to your friendship. They're not entitled to your attention. And then I got on this live call with my mentor because he does these live calls every week. And I was like, you know what? Yes. But also, I feel guilty. Like, I need to listen to my own advice. Like, I'm trying to tell other people not to feel guilty, but I also feel guilty in this situation for myself. And so I'm like, Andy. He's my mentor. Andy from Kill Your Inner Loser, fucking awesome dude. Check it out. He has a channel on YouTube. I've had him on my channel. He's had me on his channel. And he's just a cool fucking dude talking about living an awesome life. Definitely suggest check out his channel. Do that today. I'm going to put in the end screen of this video, I'm going to put his channel so you can just click on it there. If not, just search for Kill Your Inner Loser. I've decided to not put anything more in the description links because I always forget. I promise and then I forget, and so I'm just not going to promise that anymore. But anyway, awesome fucking dude. And I asked him, I'm like, dude, like I feel guilty. Like I know she doesn't, like she's not entitled to my friendship and my attention, but I feel like an asshole for withholding it. And he's like, well, and he said something really, really wise and insightful. He said, well, under that logic, she should feel guilty for not fucking you. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, like if you should feel guilty for not giving her your attention, then she should feel guilty for not giving you access to her body and her sexuality. And I'm like, huh, I guess that does make sense. They are both the same statement, just in opposite. They're essentially saying, I'm essentially saying I should feel guilty for not meeting her desire. And her desire is for friendship to hang out because she thinks I'm fun, right? And I am fun. I don't blame her for thinking I'm fun because I'm fun. But that's her desire, right? She wants to hang out with me without any sex. And I have a desire for sex. If I'm saying I feel guilty for not meeting her need, then by the same logic, she should feel guilty for not meeting my need. Now, neither of those is true. She should not feel guilty. She has 100% ability to say, no, I don't want to have sex with you, and then follow through on that by not having sex with me. That is 100% within her control, and I fully support that. I'm just saying that phrase that she should feel guilty for not having sex with me to illustrate how silly it is that I think I should feel guilty for not being her friend. Now, let's be clear. She never tried to make me feel guilty for not wanting friendship. She didn't reply to that message, and it doesn't need a reply. I'm just sharing what my boundaries are. She doesn't necessarily need a reply to that. So this is all inside my head. She has not tried to make me feel guilty for it. I don't know her feelings on it. Maybe she does think I should feel guilty. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's 100% fine with it. I have no idea. But this is all in my head. I'm the one making myself feel guilty for it because I'm human. Because even though I've been down this road so many times, it doesn't mean my emotions are going to play nice. Emotions sometimes don't play nice, and you have to talk to yourself and be in your own head and kind of solve things. And this phrase that my mentor said just fucking solved it instantly. He was like, yo, if you're feeling guilty for not meeting her need or her desire for friendship, then she should feel needy for not filling your need. And it's just ridiculous because of course she shouldn't feel guilty for meeting that, for meeting my desire for sex. And of course I shouldn't feel guilty for meeting her desire for friendship. She's essentially just asking, hey, would you like to be friends? And I could say no, because that's not what I'm looking for. That would just make me frustrated. So in the end, the moral of the story is girls are not entitled to your attention, and they're not entitled to your friendship. If you do not want to be friends with a girl, you do not need to give any friendship to her. You don't need to keep replying to her. You don't need to keep meeting up and pretending you want to be her friend. And same thing with attention. If a girl is texting you and you just don't want to text back, she's not entitled to a text back. So I hope this helped you be more centered in your life and give only when you want to give. And that is what makes your giving meaningful. Because if you just give to everybody who asks, your giving is not meaningful. Your giving is just giving, and nobody will respect you because you'll just give to whoever. By the same token, I am closer friends with my friends who, my best friend, for instance, continually reminds me that he doesn't need me. And not in a fuck you way, but in a it's hard to explain it. You really have to hear it. You really have to be in the conversation. He says it in a way which is loving. It's not like a bad thing. And that is one reason why I love him so much, because I know he doesn't have to give his friendship to me, but he does so freely. He does so abundantly, and he does so freely. And that's the key. You don't have to give anything to anybody, but when you do give, that means that you want to give. And that makes that giving so much more meaningful. So I'm not saying don't ever give. I'm just saying you don't have to. And when you do, it means you want to. Wishing you the best. I'm excited for this new year. And until next time, folks.